hairy freak or the fat slob is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Look at us. I think I fixed it. I think I fixed my problems. Hey everyone. I'm Tom. We're doing kind of a stress test mechanism, if you will. Trying to see if I maybe fixed the issues that I'm having with my stuff. So, hello. Let me see if I can open up the chat real quick. It'll let me, and if it will, we'll try to run some video. Hope everyone's doing all right. I'm gonna stream for a little over the next hour. Let's just go into the show.
It is Slamboree Eve, and you are on WCW Saturday Night. Hello, everyone. I'm Scott Hudson, joined as
Alright, so we're going to watch WCW Saturday Night from May 16, 1998. Kind of stress test the fixes. Let me know if I'm coming through good and clear. Hello, CBJ fan. Welcome. We got Roadblock coming to the ring with his titty tattoo. Big sexy Roadblock.
So many questions are going to be answered tomorrow in Worcester, Massachusetts, and live on pay-per-view. We're going to start it off with the big challenge.
Roadblock. We got the Suzanimal. Hello, Suzanimal. Glad to hear from ya.
Well, Jim Duggan has quite a physical test in front of him. One of the
Up taking care of yourself. Alright, you can hear all three of us, and it looks like there's no weird lag or anything. Alright, I think we might have fixed our issue from last night. So we'll just hang out here for a bit. We'll watch some wrestling. Let everyone come join us if they want to. I'm gonna do the official show tomorrow from 7 to 9. We're gonna watch what we were actually gonna watch last night, tomorrow night from 7 to 9 here on the stream, pre-show Palooza. But yeah, this is just kind of get things, make sure my stuff's working, and maybe give me some extra stuff to put on YouTube. Oh my goodness, that sucks. I'm so sorry, Suzanimal. A big ho out to you, Suzanimal. Hopefully get that flat tire taken care of. As we all know, Rochester, New York is a sovereign nation against America. Look at that kid. Sweet mask.
And yes, Goldberg puts the winning streak on the line.
Maybe if you kiddos are good, I will reveal the surprise show we're watching Sunday on Off the Grid a day early. Off the Grid Sunday night at 9. We got the Roadblock. Look at that. Hey, Boxes with God. Welcome. Again, I want to apologize for last night. Everything with the computer. Again, looks like we've got it fixed. So, we'll be good. We're going to do the regular show tomorrow from 7 to 9, and then we're going to all raid Scotland Green, Mr. Green Mist's chat, his stream, the Pro Wrestling Potluck, 9 o'clock to whenever. Hey, Dave in Syracuse. That's a good point, Dave in Syracuse. Glens Falls is only 3 hours from Rochester. Why is Jim Duggan so mad at this man? Not Geek Squad, Tom Squad. I spent my lunch break Googling things. I think I've fixed things. USA, 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 to quote Sheik Adnan Casey.
About events coming in Atlanta, Los Angeles, San Diego, Oakland, and yes, my former hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada.
A big bear hug. I love how Jim Duggan looks like a literal child in the arms of the roadblock. Shout out to the Glens Falls East Coast Hockey League team. Final four of those playoffs. I really need to head out to an Indianapolis Ice game sometime soon. Or the Fuel, I think they're called now. Adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush. Adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush. Adrenaline rush, adrenaline rush.
Don't forget there is still time. It's not nearly too late to call your cable company.
Wait, I call baloney, Jim Duggan. Optimum Vision, you can't hear me? Can everybody else hear me?
You can join us on pay-per-view.
Yes, Roadblock attacked One Man Gang at a house show in New York in, I believe, 1989, 1988. Jumped the rail and thought that if he beat up a wrestler, that he would get a job with the WWF. He only got arrested, but yeah, he beat up One Man Gang, and apparently Slick was beating him with the cane. I love that little attention to detail, by the way, holding on to the hair. Okay, all right, Optimum Vision. Okay, you scared me, Optimum Vision. I thought my audio wasn't coming through. Okay, I'm glad I could be heard.
The Wolfpack of the NWO. You never know. We'll find out tomorrow night at Slamboree.
Roadblock mounts the middle rope. Look out!
Oh, belly flop.
Duggan able to roll out of the way. Nobody home there.
My T just fell off the announce table. I'm not kidding.
Big running lariat out of the three-point stance. Duggan explodes off the ropes with all glory. There's the knee drop.
That has got to do it. And a three from Charles Robinson.
And Jim Duggan wins.
On Slamboree Eve with a victory over the big Roadblock.
Well, we talked about Duggan cranking it up a notch to compete with someone the size of the Roadblock.
Shout out to this small town, and I assume Georgia.
We open up Saturday night with a bang.
Getting heroes welcome as the Hacksaw. Stay with us on Saturday night, or don't. I'm Scott Hudson. This is Mike Today. We're currently attending a funeral. Love it. Mike Tenay looking around like there's a crowd. Yuji Nagata and Goldberg. That might be more of a shoot than a fight zone we watched the other night. That is right, Suzanimal. Jim Duggan, the only person to have been on both Super Sloppy Double Dare and Double Dare 2000. Hey, Bam Dog. Yeah, again, I'm really sorry. I kind of lost it last night. Yeah, because I love doing these streams, and when I don't get to do them, I'm very sad. So I'm glad it appears as if we fixed things. So we'll be good for tomorrow. We're gonna do the regular show tomorrow from 7 to 9. So what we missed last night, we'll be doing tomorrow. This is just kind of a bonus thing we're doing right now. But I'm glad to see you, Bam Dog. Thank you for having my back. Finlay and Chavo. Actually, I think Finlay and Chavo's the main event.
From Slamboree, that's all still to come. Let's go to the ring. We've got action standing by.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, Brenticus. I appreciate you, Randy. Hell yeah, Cajun Predator emojis. Right, who do we have next? Sweet Crane. Ooh, Barry Horowitz in his sexy magician vest. Hell yeah, throwing up those Cajun Predators in the chat. Love to see it.
Cruiserweight Battle Royal. The winner of the Battle Royal will get a shot at Jericho and the Cruiserweight belt the same night tomorrow, Sunday, May 17th.
Yeah, Barry's experience. It's the Attitude Era. Barry has to wear black because he's tough. Yes, tomorrow night, 7 to 9 will be Deep Cuts Live. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm going to do a raid and we'll all go over to Scotland's stream for the potluck. I ran it by Scotland today just to make sure it was cool with him. It's cool with him. He's got a big game show set up tomorrow. He's the master of the cool elements. He does call-ins and game shows, and I'm just like, here. I totally understand. I would normally never do a stream that early, but I as I really want to get the content made. So, but it'll be on YouTube hopefully right after. But hey, it's all good, Bam Dog. Marty Jannetty against Barry Horowitz. Mark Curtis wearing a very dark ref shirt. That's a good point. 2 Action Bronson songs. Go to war, hell yeah. Hey, Woebegone Jabroni. I just understood that name. That's very funny. Welcome to the chat. The Erotic Eric Fontaine fan club. Hey, Commodore Amigo.
Jericho just doesn't surprise me anymore, and the fact that he crowned Joe Malenko with a framed poster, I'm not shocked by that. But tomorrow night, Chris Jericho.
Thank you for the cheers, Commodore Amigo. That'll pop up on the screen in a second. Bobby Roode's dad, Barry Horowitz. There we go. Hell yeah. Put up the devil horns.
And you may say what you want, Jericho, about you're going to wrestle a tired man. You're going to wrestle a man who is still running on the adrenaline of knowing he gets a pay-per-view.
And just FYI, the buzz, if you hear a buzz, it is from the video, and it's not from anything I'm doing. It's an old VHS tape. Barry Horowitz does rule. He's a very underrated wrestler. Nobody ever gives him the credit. Hey, Crush Bra. Maybe Marty will win a match. Who knows? It's Saturday night. It's unpredictable. I think they just drew names out of a hat. I cannot get over how dark Mark Curtis's ref shirt is.
Referee Mark Curtis standing by, looking in, making sure we've got a completely legal match. Jannetty backs Horowitz into the
a completely legal match, which you need to make sure of when Marty's in the ring. Because going by Marty's Facebook, he does not keep things completely legal, let's say. What happened was, I'm pretty sure, we have a sweet backbreaker by Barry. OBS did an update, the streaming software last week, and it switched from, it had been streaming directly, like, it was like it was supposed to be streaming directly from the software, the actual program, and I guess it switched over to hardware. It's really long and technical. I don't really know how to even explain it. Essentially, a switch got switched that wasn't supposed to be switched, and I had to switch it back. And then I had to turn a couple of other things down. So, but yeah, hardware encoding. See, I don't know I barely know the tech terms. Yeah, maybe a murderer. At least one of them is maybe a murderer. And the other one's Barry Horowitz. Sweet Northern Lights suplex.
Cover by Horowitz, he got the 2 count on Marty Jannetty. You throw in Rowdy
between Marty Jannetty and Bug Zoomhoff. Barry Horowitz has wrestled some dudes that have been real weird with their kids. Yes, tomorrow at 7, Optimum Vision. We're going to do the show we were supposed to do last night. Tomorrow, 7 to 9, Deep Cuts Live, and then 9 o'clock, we're going to raid Mr. Green Mist's Pro Wrestling Potluck. A pal, Scotland Green. We'll do that. So a whole night of Twitch wrestling for you. So yeah, tomorrow night, 7 to 9, is going to be the stream. This is just some extra fun. Some over-the-shirt petting, if you will.
Watch Jannetty. He's going to shoot Horowitz across. Waits on him. Catches him with his good elbow. Jannetty nursing an elbow.
Barry Horowitz and Regal had to have happened. I'll look that up after we're done. Maybe not, because I think they were both heels in WCW, but what does that matter? But a fist drop, not the showstopper. Marty wins.
All right, Scott Hudson, Mike, today we are back here on TBS. Of course, tomorrow night live.
Also, don't mind me. I'm going to put a French fry in my mouth real quick.
I want to bring in the World Television Champ. We're going to be seeing him later on tonight here on WCW Saturday night. But tomorrow night, David Finlay, you have an appointment to defend the World Television title against, I would have to say, a very worthy challenger and contender in one Canadian crippler, Chris Benoit.
The crippler.
As opposed to 3 Canadian cripplers.
He is tremendous. They call him the crippler.
But I love that belt. That's the best belt.
Pretty good. I'm very curious. Why do they call you Fit?
Let me tell you.
I'm with you, Boxers with God. It's one of my favorite. I'm not a replica guy, but I would totally, if I had like unlimited funds, I would totally get a World TV title.
I am a pure athlete. I have been an athlete all my life. Where I come from, Carrickfergus, Northern Ireland, I played rugby for the town. I played football.
US belt was a good looking belt too.
Armor on, proper football. proper rugby.
Imagine working in a
No shields, no
salon,
helmets. I played, I
and
climbed
Dave
mountains,
Fit
jumped
Finlay
off
walks
mountains, I've
in.
done everything.
Bleach it all, please.
High-class level. I am fit to do anything.
A rock climber.
And this is one thing that the
A
cripplers
rock
not
climber.
doing, the cripplers
And
not
fit to do
doing.
anything.
Fit Finlay. A rock
Very cool, Suzanimal.
Yes, I think it's very good that you could point out your credentials. Of course, when you get in the ring with this young man, you know how tough he is. I mean, take a look at how he went back and forth with Booker T. The man that I have to say, many tell me, you stole
I think
that
one of my
time.
kids is being reamed out in the other room, so if you hear yelling, I
Let me tell you
apologize.
something. Since I came to this crusty country, I came to attack. I came here to defeat everybody. I came ready for fights. But you know what? I seen in every other corner, people falling.
They did a good job of making this this locker room look almost like a locker
I
room.
stood back and I let them do it all. And then Booker T.
Hey,
and
Matt
Benoit
P.
nose to nose breathing down each other's
Crusty
throats saying,
country.
this is mine, this is mine. I took
This
it
is
off.
mine. I
They were
love
going
listening
blinkers
to,
on at each other.
especially
They didn't
Europeans,
come from the
but
side
people who
behind
aren't
or
from
anything.
America do
Sounds about
American
like home,
accents.
sniveling and whining.
You're home, baby.
Of course, I thank you very much. I'm
Yeah,
getting the wrap
that's
here.
a
We're
good
out of
point,
time.
Basketball Doll. This has
Coming
gone
up
on
later
for
in the
like, it
program,
feels
World
like 10
Television
minutes.
Champ Fit Finlay. He'll be part of Slamboree tomorrow night. Stay tuned. More to come here on TBS.
WCW
Slamboree. I have a soft spot for Slamboree. I don't know why. No, this Slamboree in particular.
Roddy Piper. It's tomorrow night on pay-per-view.
Like, Savage and Bret was, I think, better than it should have been, considering Savage's knee was all fucked up. Was it Benoit and Finlay? They just talked about it. I wasn't even paying attention. That match was good. And then I love the Bowery death match. Raven and DDP.
Where Goldberg will run the gauntlet of the flock. And I don't know that this man may not be part of the gauntlet.
That was, yes, Wilby Gonjabroni, yes, the Bowery death match. Here comes Horace
We saw on Nitro what Reese is capable
with
of.
Reese.
What is this situation with the
My friend Ron Reese.
in general, and in
We met through
particular,
YouTube
this
last week.
monster
I
attacking Juventud.
I did that
As we
short
saw the footage last Monday
about,
on Nitro. I don't have
about
an explanation for it, Scott.
Super Giant Ninja.
I got it. So tomorrow night, Goldberg
And
will
Ron
run the
Reese
gauntlet
found
of the
it
flock.
the same
You
day
gotta go through, you gotta
and
say,
left
here's a
7 comments about how awesome Super Giant Ninja was. And we became pals. So shout out to Ron Reese. Best friend of the show, Ron Reese. Here comes Hoovy. You know, that match we all wanted to see. Horace Hogan against Juventud Guerrera.
United States strap back to Raven.
And I think one of the most important things is that Raven is going to be able to decide the
The Yatai. Who somebody pointed out to me the other day. I never thought about this. Because, as you heard my alarm system go off, if you watched the short, or you read the Observer at the time, the Yeti was supposed to be Elegante, Giant Gonzalez. And I never put 2 and 2 together. But I think the reason why he was in the mummy getup was because it was a cheap alternative. Because the Yeti was supposed to be Jorge Gonzalez in the Giant Gonzalez gear. I never thought of that. He looks like a Yeti in it.
Every time we see him on a WCW event.
I feel dumb. I feel like a dumb person.
Lost his mask to Chris Jericho. I gotta think that reinvigorated the Youth Warrior. I think Juventud Guerrera is a better wrestler. I think he's had a lot.
But Horace seems both very aware that his hair was gone and not aware enough.
Turning things around. Well,
Like the fact that he shaved down the sides and the back so much
negative into what has been quite a positive
tells me that
That is not a positive right
he
there from Horace.
thought it still had a
In the
chance.
corner on Juventud Guerrera, referee
Dude, Ron
Patrick
Reese
Denton
is
in the
tight with all the DDP yoga dudes. So, I mean, there's a non-0% chance he would pop up in, like, the Nightmare Family someday. Like, Cody's entourage in WWE.
Out there in the corner. Let's see Horace picking up Juventud Guerrera.
Like, Reese popped up in Impact TNA last year for a minute. Hey, LJH, good morning. Or good morning, good evening. I mean, it's morning somewhere. I think it's... Oh, nice. It's morning in Australia. Taking a place out of the Reese book. The page. Good morning, good morning. Morning to you.
From Horace Juventud, somehow and he's been beaten to a pulp in here. Somehow
Like,
had the presence of mind to wrap Horace up in the Hurricane Rana, but to no
I
effect.
get you
Horace still
can't
back in
make
control, missing the elbow,
good,
moving to up top.
cool dream matches. Oh gosh, that had to hurt. All the time.
And here's the cover.
But like, I'd have to think
Only got the two. I don't know that Horace might have
you
just,
could put
eased up
Hoovy
on
in a
that.
decent spot on the card where he could wrestle somebody a little more his style instead of having him work with the Flock for 2 months. And not even with the Flock guys that could like work with him. Like Sick Boy was kind of a high flyer. Definitely Kidman. Riggs even I think kind of worked well with some of the luchadors. But like, it was Reese and Horace. And then they teamed him with Hammer. Just the most inappropriate guys to be teaming with Hoovy.
When you think about Raven's rules, when you think about the 4 riot police that accompany him everywhere he goes, when you think about this opportunity.
Yes, Katie Vick's brother's Sick Boy. I don't think enough people put 2 and 2 together on that. And it's crazy that that was supposed to be like they had Scott Vick under contract for like over a year. He was in dark matches every week. And that was the big plan. Like, they named her that because it's his real name. Like, yes, yeah, I did a short about that a couple weeks ago. On TikTok, I blew up on TikTok. The one I did about Private Stash, like 75,000 views. Dave, don't get me started on how police detail works in pro wrestling. Like, you can't just, I mean, you can hire the police to be like security at your event. You can't hire the police to beat the shit out of people. I mean, if you have enough money. I heard the words coming out of my mouth, and then I thought about current events, and I'm like, never mind. Oh! But it is kind of wild that somebody like Raven could just be like, hey police, can you just fight wrestlers for me?
Has the presence of mind to get back into the ring. He may win by count out, but
wait a minute, Reese! Not again!
Also, Reese is like such a big guy. And they put him in the grunge getup that just makes him look like a 7th grader that hit their growth spurt early. Yeah, the over-the-top rope rule in this era was weird. It was like it depended on the referee. It was like mostly whoever was a hold-on from the old era. Like Nick Patrick and Randy Anderson would call it, but like Mark Curtis, he wasn't around then. And then like the mid-early 90s, so he never called over-the-top DQs. Yeah, Reese is wearing like Jinka, like regular person Jinkas, the shorts. Big fan of them just airing the MTV live clip like it's just a regular part of the show. Have I ever told the Dave Grohl story on here? If I have, I'll tell it again now. So I heard this a couple years ago. Apparently, because the Foo Fighters were the guests on MTV Live when DDP did that thing with Raven, and like I guess at some point in the show they played his entrance music, the Smells Like Teen Spirit ripoff, and Dave Grohl, I guess, like, what the fuck? That's our song. That's Nirvana's song. And so he hit up his lawyers, like, listen, we got to do something about this. This wrestling company is infringing on my stuff. But he, being somebody who didn't watch wrestling, told them that the WWF had a wrestler who was using Smells Like Teen Spirit. So the record label sent a cease and desist to the WWF to stop using Smells Like Teen Spirit. And that is how WCW got away with DDP using that song.
Back on WCW Saturday night. Couple of youngsters making their way into the ring right
Couple
now.
of youngsters. It's a shame commentators on TV these days don't call the undercard guys youngsters.
Johnny Swinger, as well as
Johnny Swinger here dressed like a sexy baked potato.
Superstation in Jerry Flynn. Remember Jerry Flynn against Goldberg?
Oh boy.
Well, sort of in the early going in Goldberg's
Like,
career,
what a ring
Jerry Flynn was
jacket. That is
recognized as
good
the one
shit.
wrestler that really put Goldberg to the test. And actually, the executive committee
Has an itchy
stepped in on a
butthole,
couple
so
of
he's
occasions,
scratching
and
it on the
he
middle
gave
rope.
return matches, rematches with none other than Goldberg because they were so impressed with the showing of Jerry Flynn.
Goldberg comes into Saturday night tonight, and he will be in action.
So because Jerry Flynn lost in 4 minutes instead of 3, the matchmakers were impressed. Nitro Wives Johnny Swinger's here. Look at that chest here on Jerry Flynn. He's supposed to be the baby face, by the way, in this match, and he's doing the sweat thing and faking out people on handshakes. Yeah, Johnny Swinger was in the WWE in 2005, I want to say, as Johnny Parisi. That period where they were like hiring guys and then only putting them on like Sunday Night Heat and Velocity regulars only. Like he debuted on Heat and stayed on Heat.
Take a page out of the Mike Today notebook and bring a notebook because I've got so many unanswered questions. I've got all these things running through my mind.
Yeah,
about
Frankie Kazarian was another one.
Revolve around the World Tag Team title situation.
Like they couldn't even get on TV like losing to somebody. They were only Heat and Velocity, guys. It was the weirdest thing. That was dope. Love that. I love that for us.
Of NWO Hollywood. How is he going to function as a teammate to Sting? Can Sting trust him? You know Nash and Hall can't trust him. Will Hall be there? We haven't seen Scott.
Yes, this is that period. Oh, sweet Road Warrior Hawk clothesline. This is that point in WCW where just every main event is a tag match where the hook is, can this person be trusted?
Well, we had referred to Sting and the Giant as the WCW Dream Team, but that's evolved into a nightmare for World Championship Wrestling. Sting, obviously, well, we think he's aligned with WCW.
We think he's aligned with WCW.
I remember the Giant handing him that black and white NWO T-shirt, offering him a slot in Hollywood Hogan's camp of the NWO. And I saw that indecision on the face of Sting, and I really wonder about Sting and the Giant. I also think back to Dusty Rhodes coming out on Nitro and on Thunder.
I will always think of Dusty Rhodes coming out on Nitro. Baby, I've been living a lie. And that's the last time you'll ever hear me do a Dusty Rhodes impression.
Sting will have a decision to make Monday night on Nitro if and when he and the Giant become World Tag Team Champions. That could happen tomorrow night at Slamboree. If Sting and the Giant win it, the Giant has made it clear Sting will have to fish or cut bait, as we say in Denton,
Have to
Georgia.
fish or cut bait, as we say in the industry.
The NWO, or will he remain with WCW? And what will happen if he doesn't join? They're still the champions.
And I was also thinking back to the conclusion of the Thunder program when the total package, Lex Luger, a long-time associate of Sting. Quick cover now. Very nice.
Quick cover.
However, by Flynn and barely gets a one count.
Yeah.
When Lex Luger came out, and the look on Luger's face as he and Sting.
You're supposed to be the good guy, buddy, I think.
It's going on.
Jerry Flynn has definitely stolen candy from multiple children. That would be a cool heel gimmick. Like the opposite of the Candyman when Brad Armstrong would give out candy to kids.
Of the NWO by no less than Lex Luger. That sent Sting, oh man, that sent Sting into his downward spiral that he continues to be in. That's where we saw the debut of the dark side of the Stinger, just by being accused.
The dark side of the Stinger.
Cover by Swinger. Here we go, and he got the 2 count.
Well, Johnny Swinger turned the tide, first with the jawbreaker, then with the backdrop suplex. Now shoots him off into the ropes. Duck under by Flynn.
Boom, right in the
we
jaw.
talked about that martial arts attack, including those stiff, lethal kicks. That one was on target.
Oh, he almost threw him out of the ring with the armbar. That would have been sweet.
Well, I don't think when you're putting a cross arm breaker, when you're doing a martial art, there are a lot of
Basketball
ropes to deal
adult.
with. Gary Flynn, oh man, spinning back kick, caught him right in the chest, knocked the breath out.
He's out.
2 and 3, and Jerry Flynn wins it.
Sweet finish. Just kick a guy in the face.
Over Johnny Swinger. Don't forget, Goldberg is still to come on Saturday.
And that would have been sick if Swinger would have eliminated him. Or not eliminated, if Swinger would have been thrown out of the ring.
champions. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash defend against Sting and the Giant. It all goes down tomorrow night. Call your cable company.
History, power, outage, all those words.
WCW. And as part of that tag team match, let's not forget.
Right, just FYI, I'm gonna skip a little bit just because I just noticed this is gonna put us a little bit over 8 o'clock, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna skip around some. All right, we got Disco Inferno and Lynn Denton. Hey, Cage of Jungle Tiger, we've missed you. We have definitely missed you. Doing all right. Last night kind of sucked. We had to cancel the stream due to bullshit with the computer, but I think we got it fixed. We're gonna do a regular stream tomorrow from 7 to 9. Just FYI. Hey, One Cameron Zebra. Yes. Oh, it's Glenn. We have missed you though, Cage of Jungle Tiger. A few folks have brought you up. Chat. Bringing up that they've missed you, so I'm glad to have you around. The Lynn Denton and Disco Inferno, Raven's two buddies. You don't know, Raven is actually the person who got Lynn Denton this weird run in WCW. Because Lynn Denton helped him out in Portland when he was first starting out. And of course, Disco Inferno is the guy so sad that Raven makes fun of him.
With the knee to the back of the head, he just drove Disco down to the mat.
What an upset if Lynn Denton could score the victory over Disco. And Disco's not above being upset on Saturday night. Don't get the wrong idea. Step over by Lynn Denton. Disco waits on him, catches him, reverse atomic.
It's a bit like Jericho getting Luther a job in AEW, but like with way less security. Because Lynn Denton was only around for like a month, I think. But he was on like every show, doing jobs. It was weird. Like there's a Lynn, I brought it up in one of my YouTube shorts recently. There was a Lynn Denton versus Atlantis match. They brought in Atlantis from CMLL and had him wrestle Lynn Denton on Worldwide.
There's a high sign from Disco. Denton kicked out earlier, and he got away from it. He got away from the axe handle from Disco. Denton moves in, into the gut, into the turnbuckle.
And as usual, Disco loses his concentration, and look at that, Lynn Denton takes control.
Oh, just peppering him into the turnbuckle, and Disco Inferno.
For one time, I don't think I ever actually saw the match, but I saw the picture in PWI. Ricky Morton did that to Tom Pritchard in a match in Smoky Mountain once, like over 100 times, and Tom Pritchard like gigged himself from like coast to coast, and like his face, you couldn't see his face because of all the blood, and then all the blood was on the turnbuckle. It was like a white turnbuckle pad. It's like a really cool picture if you can handle blood.
Don't forget, Goldberg still to come. Stay with us on Saturday night.
Disco Glenn rubbing himself.
All right, very important here on the eve of Slamboree. We talk about tomorrow night live from the Centrum in Worcester, Mass. It is Slamboree, 45 minutes west of downtown Boston.
A town where you have to give the fans directions.
This is a must-see.
From Boston, so they know where it is.
Two great matches that I'm going to talk about right now. Bret the Hitman Hart is going to be facing the Macho Man,
Bret Hart?
Randy Savage. Apparently, huge differences, philosophical differences between these two men, but the goals, I think, are the same. In tag team action, the
if they're just running on this card, I'm going to skip ahead a little more, so definitely be done before, yeah. That'll probably get pulled from YouTube anyway, so whatever. Alright, and I think we're good.
Randy Savage, the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is weird. Been watching Nitros on the treadmill, on the treadmill at the gym, and I'm in this era right now, and it's just weird seeing Bret come out cutting promos like it's nothing. God, High Voltage had some big old titties. Like,
and it almost appeared as if Roddy Piper was questioning Bret Hart as to why.
Like that woman seems like she would call TBS and be like, "This is lewd." God, look at those things. I can smell the Deca through the screen. Disorderly conduct. Mean Mike, Tough Tom. Unlike me, Wimpy Tom. I'm Wimpy Tom, that's Tough Tom. The opponents. Yeah, the Steiners loved High Voltage. Like even like a year or two before the Rick Steiner Kitty Chaos team, there was a point where the commentators, every match that High Voltage had, they made a point. They're like the new Steiners because it was supposed to set up like a High Voltage Steiner Brothers thing, and then it just never happened. And like High Voltage went to Japan and got good. Like I think High Voltage and another, like if High Voltage came around now, they'd be a pretty big deal. Because the height wouldn't work against them now, because they were pretty short dudes. They're like 5'9", 5'10", short for wrestling. But they're big enough that they could do the flips and be like, oh shit, big guys doing flips. Yeah, High Voltage just, they were crazy. Oh, ring moved a bit there. Oh, the base of that spine.
Well, then apparently you don't trust that explanation from Dusty Rhodes either.
I don't trust that explanation either.
And promised everyone that Scott Hall, his protege, will be a part of Slamboree in that World's Tag Title matchup. Well, in all honesty, if Dusty Rhodes said it, now that he's in the New World Order, I definitely don't believe it.
Yeah, the Disorderly Conduct gear was always interesting to me. Not just the color, but also, I feel like their singlets are like weird lengths. Like they're longer than normal, like singlet legs, but not long enough to pull off like the Bret Hart look. Yeah, they pretty much always wore purple as Disorderly Conduct.
What a pay-per-view it's going to be. I can't wait. Tomorrow night, Worcester, Massachusetts. You can join us on pay-per-view by calling your cable company or satellite.
Everly Brothers wore more like right in between like pink and purple in the slider.
Up to this point. Disorderly conduct. Quick cover.
Their purple was a little lighter than this.
Incredible action from Disorderly Conduct.
Yeah.
No one-loss record on Saturday night isn't all that impressive, but they are involved in every match.
I think Disorderly Conduct with more flattering gear, like 10 years earlier, would have been a bigger deal. They just came around at a time where the industry had kind of moved on.
That stopped the counter, actually just made it just a 2 count. Disorderly conduct, quite impressive here. Good quick tags. Throttling Rage in the ring is
Throttling Rage.
Right across the throat, Billy Silverman stepping in, calling for the break.
You have not missed much, Cajun Joker Tigre. Oh, Saito suplex. Look at that. Disorderly Conduct trying to get into All Japan.
They could immediately put themselves in line for a title shot with just a couple of victories. Both teams won a victory on Saturday night. And speaking of Saturday night yet to come in this broadcast, Goldberg puts the streak on.
Hey, Refs as Wizards. Thank you for the nice message last night. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, I don't believe.
Vandenberg, the curator of all the oddities. Well, he's the oddest
of the oddities. Fuming at my computer, but I think we fixed things. So, glad to have you here.
Auditorium still to come on Saturday night, a double clothesline from Chaos. Wow. You could hear the impact.
And I said it earlier in the stream. I feel like I'm going to say it every time somebody else new pops in the chat. This is just kind of like a cash stream tonight. The regular stream tomorrow from 7 to 9. We will be watching what we were going to watch last night, tomorrow night, 7 to 9. So just FYI. Oh, nice. One of the 1,000 springboard moves those two did.
Well, they were both on the same page that time. High Voltage uses double team tactics to gain the win.
And Mike, let's not forget also at Slamboree.
Scott Hudson, great tan.
Bret the Hitman Hart and the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, and isn't that an amazing fact?
Isn't that an amazing? It's like he's trying to like sell us on Scientology or something.
Will unfold tomorrow night at Slamboree. The main event. It's the Hitman.
Yeah, Kenny Chaos got in WCW, man. So did Bobby Blaze. I believe they did mocap. Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker too.
To capture the WCW World's Heavyweight title. Important factor to note. Special referee for Savage versus Hart tomorrow night at
Mike Tenay's
Slamboree
eyes.
is going to be none other than Rowdy Roddy Piper.
We have heard
Yeah,
nothing
Mayhem
from Bret
broke
Hart
my heart.
explaining his association with
It's
NWO
such a bad
Hollywood
game.
or with the NWO in general. We do know this. The match tomorrow night at Slamboree isn't for a title, isn't hair versus hair. It's strictly personal. Let's take a
Why
look
would it be
at
hair
Bret
versus
Hart
hair?
and the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
That's such a random stip to bring up. I'm gonna skip ahead a little more, just to make sure we. Just to make sure. Oh, go back. We're not gonna miss a second of that match. We're gonna watch Lenny Lane against Kidman. Kidman. Did they go to commercial with Lenny Lane being the cliffhanger? My boy state. Remind me what the OSW boy thing. It's wrestlers who didn't get a push who you like, correct? I haven't watched as much OSW as I probably should, so just I think that's it. Yeah, okay. Brad Armstrong, first and foremost. Forever. Of course, Mark Starr and Joey Maggs. They were my childhood favorites. There were so many. I feel like the WCW was one big boy stable for me. Clip that and take that out of context. Gosh, and I'd have to say, Sergeant Craig Pittman. I think he would have been incredible at another era. And Jerry Flynn's a very good pick, as are both high voltage guys. Right out of the Raven rule book.
Raven just decided he wants Saturn in, Van Hammer's out. That's the way it is.
And of course, gauntlet match tomorrow at Slamboree. Goldberg is going to put that U.S. title on the line. And again,
right on the head.
Raven has control of things around here. If Goldberg does not defeat all the members of the flock in an order prescribed by Raven, the U.S. title goes over.
Jerry Flynn and Jerry Lynn never wrestled in WCW, unfortunately. Oh, sweet kick by Saturn. It didn't even move his hoodie. They did share entrance music, though. Jerry Lynn found that to be very funny on Twitter a couple weeks ago. I posted a clip of it. Back to back. They really did use the same song. Dun 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 dun.
Or his cryonic kick, as he calls it. Right. Like he's trademarked, like he's patented it, so that no
Did he sneeze?
Can use it.
Saturn put Glacier in his place. I think Saturn definitely has come.
Is he allergic?
There, but I do like what he's doing to Glacier.
That'd be a fun gimmick to be allergic of the flock.
Kick from Lenny Lane, roll up. Hooks the leg, and he got him for the 2 count. Thought that was going to be an upset. And Pittman back with a drop kick. Well,
yeah, Lash LaRue was a blast. I'm a big Lash LaRue guy.
Battle Royal. And yes, the winner of that Battle Royal is going to get a
Listen, that'll be on the eventual Patreon.
The same night.
Whole Spotify playlists of me mouth-noising WCW songs.
Until the Battle Royal has been completed.
That's tomorrow night at Slamboree on pay-per-view. Springboard guillotine leg drop by Kidman on.
There was no springboard, Scott. Where was the springboard?
Today, let's not forget, inside a steel cage with a roof. A Bowery deathmatch. Kidman with the cover. He got the 2 count on Lenny.
As some people call it.
It should settle
Yeah, nothing's gonna be free.
Raven and Diamond Dallas Page. That also tomorrow night on Slamboree.
One of the long-running feuds in WCW. Roll up by Lenny Lane.
Roll up.
Count. I think we're finally going to get it decided. That completely enclosed steel cage for that Bowery death match. Diamond Dallas Page and Raven. Let's get this thing.
Yeah, he did add guillotine because went across the throat. Any leg drop that goes across the throat is technically a guillotine drop. Even though I thought guillotines went like from the back of the head.
Finally, we hope tomorrow night the situation
it's weird.
between Raven and Diamond
I feel like words don't mean the same that they do outside of wrestling, in wrestling.
Steel cage.
back on Kidman.
Shoots Kidman across Lenny Lane. Backdrop on Kidman.
Beautiful elevation out of the corner by
Beautiful elevation. Nice.
Flying head scissors takeover. You got to put your moves together if you're going to be successful. And Lenny Lane
Damn straight, you have to put your moves together.
Center of the ring. He got the cover and he got the 2.5. But Lenny Lane, keep an eye out on Saturn. He is at ringside and he is devious. He's a member of the flock.
He's devious.
Oh, tried to come off the ropes, maybe for a bulldog. That's
I think it's the first time, the only time in wrestling before like the year 2000 that a Caucasian man was described as being devious. Normally that was just racist code. Oh, he almost clipped his ankles. Almost clipped his ankles on the ropes.
The shooting star press from Kidman gets the victory as the 7-year itch.
And all of a sudden, Saturn in the ring to raise the hand of Kidman in victory.
Nitro Monday night.
Like that right there, Saturn. Get away, ref. I'm gonna raise his hand. And the possessiveness is like. There was, I forget, it was maybe somebody on DDT Digest back in the day who wrote this really interesting article. Oh, James Vandenberg, about the flock being very queer-coded.
Would be wallowing in agony now. I'm James Vandenberg, and welcome to the auditorium. You know, J.J. Dillon, in my opinion, you are the greatest wrestling manager in the history of this sport.
Very
but
sweet.
You are a miserable failure as a commissioner. Let's just take one of your latest failed experiments.
Cage Jungle Tigre, yeah. I'm a stickler for that. And DDT Digest rules, and I love that it's still up. That somebody is making sure that it's archived forever. Which, granted, it's mostly just like minuscule gifs and text, but still.
They're not happy unless somebody's going to the hospital in the back of an ambulance.
Yeah, this is a weird period where Mitchell was still under contract, but they had completely gone away from Blood Runs Cold.
So what did he do? He hurt a lot of people. Your banning the powerbomb caused an instant demand for it.
So he was like, what if I do that thing that Jim Cornette did on Raw, where he just bitched about everything? And they're like, cool, but you have to stay in
You're going to
kayfabe.
continue to make stupid rulings that are going to affect the livelihood and the health of the wrestlers in WCW.
So he went from
And as the broken, twisted
being this
body
like
begins
weird
to
collector of
pile up
odd
in front
things,
of your door,
who went to
don't
like
dare
the
point
pits
your
of
finger at
Tibet
Kevin Nash
to
or
find these
anybody else,
fighters,
because as far as I'm
to
concerned,
some dude
from here on
bitching
out,
about the rules.
blood, well, it's on your hands. Of course, that's just my opinion, and I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
Catchphrase. Yeah, it was actually a little over 2 years later. It was the end of 2000. He blew his finger off in that ECW stunt.
I can't say that I disagree.
Here we go, Evan Courageous.
You know, I was just going to say, Scott, the collector
When they
of
tried to
bodies
gimmick
of the
his last
star,
name
James
spelling,
Vandenberg, offering
his name is
an
Shoot
editorial
Courageous,
offering
but it's
for the
spelled
and I
all
don't know what this says
Greek-like.
about me, but all of a sudden I'm agreeing
God,
with Vandenberg.
Unbelievable.
I can't make the noise. The thing that he did with the mortise. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That is, yeah, it is kind of Dennis Millery, Shellcracker. Saturn just gets to make another entrance now.
I was going to say he's putting his game face on. He's
Him in his sexy hoodie. That was nice of Medusa to give Evan Courageous a shout out. She didn't have to. It was like 6 weeks of her career. And these guys, their gimmick was they sat in the crowd. They should have just stayed out at the ring. I love that shot of that jacked up meathead in the front row, like totally expecting the wrestlers to be like, you should be a wrestler too.
Still to come on Saturday night, but right now, Saturn, the enforcer of the flock, and Kidman's got a mic. Oh, please let it be broken.
That doesn't put him in an exclusive group either, does it?
Not hardly. Oh, please don't.
Oh, that's that era where Mike Tenay would always bitch about like everybody getting mic time.
By the Rings of Saturn or by the Death Valley Driver?
What is this? Just 20 questions?
And Kidman trying to be like almost like a generic heel manager while also being a heroin addict.
Kid. That's terrific. Kidman with a word of warning for Evan Courageous, who is stepping in there against Saturn like Evan Courageous needs something else to worry about.
You know, Evan Courageous has impressed us with some of his high-risk moves on some previous Saturday night broadcasts, but he has not run into a buzzsaw like Saturn.
A buzzsaw.
I don't think Saturn's very happy.
Oh,
His head off. Maybe Saturn's upset about his haircut.
fuck!
But he is not a happy guy. Draping Courageous across the top rope.
That was nasty.
He will be in action tomorrow night at Slamboree as a member of the flock. Of the flock, not the flunk. They may flunk when they go in there against Goldberg when he runs the gauntlet for the U.S. title.
I love Saturn trying to work like a big guy there. I'm not gonna bump for you. That was cool. Kind of like that Rock DDT, but like he straightened himself. Up springboard because it's 1998. Nope.
Double under. Oh, just took him over with that double arm suplex.
This has not been bad.
Sort of a reverse double underhook, a reverse
Yeah,
took
man.
him straight over. And Saturn. Oh, there's the
Super kick.
The side kick from Saturn that he says he can do all night long. Nothing to it. Just ask Evan Courageous. What?
What?
That's Raven's rules. Whenever the flock's in there.
Kidman tosses the steel chair.
Oh yeah, this is also that era where Saturn is like, I'm not in ECW anymore. I can do all of the ECW moves. Like doing fucking air sabu. Oh jeez.
Nowhere to go. He was trapped in the corner.
Scoop slam by Saturn. Courageous. I don't know how he's still conscious.
Yeah, keep in mind Perry. Oh jeez. His knee's still fucked up. Never got it fixed.
Drops across Evan Courageous.
This kid is out. Up on the shoulders. There it is.
There we go. Death Valley Driver. I saw some indie wrestler call it the Saturn Driver the other day. I'm like, I get it's a tribute. You want to call it the Saturn. It's the Death Valley Driver. That's what he called it.
Kidman having some words with referee Billy Silverman, but that is the winner. An angry man representing the flock in Saturn. Whoa. Very impressive.
Whoa.
And of course, Saturn is going to be a part of that Slamboree Run the Gauntlet match.
I have that problem too. Anyway. Yeah, Saturn's DVD is the best. Or the Spicoli Driver. Yes, y'all cracker. Oh, that hurts my tailbone watching it.
Sets him up to spike him in mid-ring, and another view of the Death Valley Driver, Saturn victorious on Saturday night.
This is almost too hard to watch. Make your pit stop now, grab the cold drink and another slice of pizza. He's coming up next.
Another
the
slice.
US champ, Goldberg.
Way to assume things about me, Scott. That's a weird shot where it starts like way off center.
I talked about it earlier, and the telephone has been
And
ringing.
I'm
Believe you me,
telling
by
you.
a superstar set to make his return to WCW. Attention, Hotline fans.
Trying to
The
think
man I'm
who-
talking about is a fighter.
Scott
of
Hall.
International acclaim.
Scott Hall had been out.
But just who is this mystery man?
Scott Hall had been out in
going
rehab.
after in WCW
I think
and
that's
World
who he's talking
Championship
about.
Wrestling. During my message tonight on the hotline, I've got the
Oh, wait, no,
inside
Scott Hall was in the main
scoop
event. He
on
left
this
after
individual
Slamboree.
who is
The
ready
fuck
to
would that have
exact
been then?
revenge for previous misdeeds. Just
Maybe-
who is
maybe
he
Rick
going after and
Martel?
why, and what is this man's
Rick
identity?
Martel
I've
came
got it
back for like a
all
week around
tonight.
this
So
time
pick up the phone right
after
now
hurting himself
and call
at a Super Bowl.
1-900-909-9900. Also, some other shady things have been happening that we'll talk about.
Some other shady things.
It's $1.69 a minute. Kids, you do
I'm gonna tell you exactly who's doing
before going.
drugs.
Also, if you're surfing the web, don't forget to check out
If you're surfing the web.
WCWWrestling.com.
All accusatory, like
Thanks a lot, Mean Gene, and it is now
surfing the
time.
web for
What
drugs.
you've been waiting for. Sit back, take another bite of pizza.
What is with Scott Hudson and the
Making his
pizza?
way to the ring will be the opponent.
You hungry, bud?
Oh, I wish. That'd be great. Oh, Ono and Goldberg.
Yuji Nagato with his entrance
Where do we sign that?
sweatshirt.
Let's call the committee. But it's Yuji Nagata tonight. Yuji Nagata gets a shot at the United States Heavyweight Championship, and let's don't sell Nagata short. He's an accomplished.
Yeah, I just finished dinner right before we started. I had a Wendy's.
And isn't it interesting
I had it my
that
way.
Yuji Nagata, much like Jerry Flynn, who we saw earlier, with a well-rounded attack. Martial
Yuji
arts,
Nagata with
switching
his
style.
wispy little
This is the kind of
mustache.
wrestler that has given Goldberg trouble in the past.
Yeah.
Well, the winning streak is on the line. There
All
it is,
right.
the familiar music, and an even
Here's
more
old Bill,
familiar
old Bill
response.
Goldberg.
The standing ovation from the crowd on hand
Nothing better than a dude in a cut-off flannel going, yeah, on a wrestling show. Yeah, that was the joke. I botched the catchphrase. In the fuck out of
Undefeated at 84-0.
84-0.
Title around his waist. And you know we've been doing these Did You Know about Goldberg? Sort of filling in some background information. Talked about his football career.
I can't hear anything you're saying, Mike. Go. Just go for it.
Goldberg's hero, his idol. As a youngster growing up, his football idol was none other
was Gary Glitter. No,
John Matuzak. Remember the Twos? Matuzak.
Remember the Twos?
The Twos.
Well, that guy was
a football player, maybe? I don't know.
What Goldberg brings to World Championship Wrestling.
Finally, the crowd calming down a little bit. I can hear.
This should actually be pretty dope. Goldberg's really good with dudes who are like who work kind of shoot style.
And wow, did he answer with one?
That was sweet.
Going for the ankle lock.
The leg sweep into the knee bar.
So well versed in submission wrestling, he knows the easiest escape. That's quickly get to the ropes, and he does.
Oh jeez.
Big gorilla press slam on Yuji Nagata. Take notes.
Going up.
Wait, he
Dropped him down onto the
Goldberg's hero growing up with Sloth from the Goonies?
with authority.
I mean, that's awesome. Also very funny to just bring up. Like we're supposed to be impressed.
Turnbuckle, Nagata tries the boot. Goldberg caught him.
How about that? Dragon screw leg whip by Goldberg. Adding moves all the time to his arsenal. That's a familiar one, however.
Man, I wish
With the spear.
anything made me as happy as that spear made every single person in this town. The small ass town they were in for Saturday night. There are people who probably have told their grandkids in that town about the night they saw Goldberg spear Yuji Nagata at the old Civic Center.
To the canvas, hooks the leg, the 2 and the 3, and Goldberg is 85-0.
And continuing to add moves to his offensive attack. Becoming even
I love how that was one of the Goldberg selling points at this point was watch a Goldberg match to see what move he's learned.
Let's look at it again. The ultra strength Bengay replay of the week. It's the strongest Bengay ever. Well,
I need to get a Bengay sponsorship.
with the spear from Goldberg. There it is from another look. Taking Nagata
Got some
off his
ouchies.
feet, setting him up for that two-pronged attack of the jackhammer. The high vertical suplex, and then crashing down on top of Nagata with the
Strong
power
ass
slam.
Bengay.
And yes, Goldberg remains undefeated.
And whoever recorded this was just fucking done with that.
Goldberg, but it is time for the main event.
Main event time.
Television Championship will be on the line.
Sponsored by that danger sign.
Against Eddie Guerrero.
Well, the arena is still rocking. This is the second half of our championship doubleheader. And this is the challenger, Eddie Guerrero. Look at this, Eddie Guerrero's being led to the ring by his nephew, Chavo.
I thought it was Chavo.
Chavo looks really happy to be out there today.
Yeah, I thought it was Chavo against Fit.
Has held numerous titles, and he
I'm
wants
so
to have
confused.
the world television title around his waist.
Didn't they say earlier it was Chavo and Fit Finlay?
I'm gonna teach you a lesson and show you how a champ wins a match. Just like
I mean, I would prefer it be Eddie.
Because I know I am, and I know I'm everybody else's favorite wrestler, even these morons here.
Great. This guy's delusional.
Yeah, he's not allowed to say the name of the town because it's too small.
So Dave Finlay,
Even WCW's like, we'll look podunk.
how you won the television, on how you won the television champion, that I am challenging you right now to come out here, that way I can show
Oh yeah,
my
man,
nephew
that is a
and
dope
teach
shirt.
him a lesson on how it's done the right way.
Who is Eddie trying to impress?
I don't know, but this is going to be quite a matchup with Fit Finlay against Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, it's terrific for Eddie Guerrero to come out.
Was this
and
Fit's
challenge
music
Finlay.
at this
We've talked
time?
about this match for the last couple of hours, and the contracts have been signed. Yeah, what a great challenge. What a real tough guy.
Yeah, seeing Chavo and Iron Claw for like the 30 seconds he was in. But hey, he's got a hell of a career as like a celebrity stunt
He
coordinator.
certainly is. We've been talking about this brawler from Belfast, Ireland, and I think he finally just received the opportunity that he
There was a
needed.
point in like '99 where they would
A
bleep
lot of people say that the
whenever somebody said the name of the town on Saturday night and made it sound like they were dropping F-bombs.
But let's face
It wasn't even like a regular bleep. It was like an ooga type deal.
Still the champ. Oh no. Not done yet.
No, listen. So I want to show you some affection, show you what a loving uncle.
Yeah, it's very funny. I think I posted a clip a while back of Buff Bagwell saying like the name of the town, and they like bleeped him. Scott Hudson's like, what did he say?
Ready to wrestle. He's got his gear on, but he had no idea. He continues to throw his nephew to the wolves.
There it is, Chavo. What?
Eddie Guerrero is on the contract.
So I'm assuming when they went to do the voiceovers and do the graphics, somebody just wrote down Chavo versus Finlay on a piece of paper and didn't put down like, oh, we did this angle with Eddie before the match. So they just announced Chavo and Finlay.
No, he doesn't back down from anything. And how about this past Thursday on Thunder?
Which again, keep in mind the show was taped like 2 weeks before it aired. They should have. Hey, Crandomaniac. Yes, ooh, Chavo indeed.
Wrestling dynasty because of the man at ringside, Eddie Guerrero.
Everybody has an opinion about Eddie Guerrero, and I don't think anybody likes him except Eddie.
Yeah, everybody loved these like jagged like flames, or in Dean Malenko's case, like ice tights. There's that clip that's going around when Jeff Farmer, not Jumpin' Jeff, not Yep Jeff, but Super J and NWO Sting had a dark match with WWE in like 2004, and he wore those tights, but he also had the Dean Malenko haircut, and he just looked like a 6'3" Dean Malenko. It was really weird.
Tomorrow night at Slamboree, let's put it this way: freedom may be less than 24 hours away for Chavo Jr. because the match has been signed. It will be Eddie Guerrero to face the Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah, Finlay's just like so good at wrestling.
Some sympathy for the plight of young Chavo.
I wish it was as good at anything as Finlay is at wrestling.
And we saw him lock on that Dragon Sleeper this past Thursday on Thunder. Then the ties can be cut, and Chavo will be a free man.
Well, Ultimo Dragon, a native of Japan, his talents, his potential.
A native of Japan. Come on. What town, buddy?
He had to go to Mexico to get appreciated. I think he sees in Chavo Guerrero a little bit of himself. Maybe he sees Eddie Guerrero not appreciating the potential of young Chavo. That's why Ultimate Dragon, the Ultimo Dragon, has come to the aid of Chavo
Heading
Guerrero
safe
Jr.
and safe, or heading hard in safe places. Heading safe in hard places. Punch him in the boner.
High into the air and just slams him down to the mat. How about that tombstone pile driver of Fit Finlay?
Oh, no thanks.
Gaining victories left and right, retaining the world's TV title.
Weather was relatively fine here, so I hope everybody else is being safe, wherever you may be.
But Chavo Guerrero now with the headlock, but Finlay drove him back first into the ring apron.
And you can see that Eddie wants no part of Fit Finlay. Every time Finlay either shoots him a look or Finlay comes out to the arena floor, Eddie Guerrero very conveniently just walks around to the other side. He wants no conflict with the
Now, when I was a kid, I thought there was no cooler look than putting a towel around your neck and just walking around. Like, I did that at school. Like, more than one teacher asked me, hey, are you cold? No, I'm just looking tough. I got my towel around my neck.
And you also have to admit that Chavo has certainly been a man of his word. For the past couple of months, yeah, he agreed to that stipulation, but he certainly has done everything Uncle Eddie's way.
Let's not forget that tonight, Fit Finlay is wrestling.
Yeah, no, I'm a shooter, Mrs. Richardson.
Defending the World Television title. We never got the official word. Let's assume that it is a title match. Tomorrow night, Fit Finlay will defend the title against Chris Benoit.
Well, the Canadian crippler earned that. Nice.
I love that move. The no-look bulldog that Chavo did.
But he gets just a 2 count. This past Monday on Nitro, I guess you'd almost have to term it a #1 contenders match. And Chris Benoit defeated Booker T, and as a result, it's Benoit that gains that shot.
I always wore it around my neck. Never did the Taz thing because like I couldn't see where I was going.
To the face of Chavo Jr. by Fit Finlay.
Did more like rugged Ronnie Garvin style, really tight around the neck. Oh, I always tried the Mr. Perfect toss. I could do it most of the time.
Oh man. Looks like it's a tombstone coming up.
69 paralysis. No de trois.
The 3 count, and Fit Finlay retains the World Television Championship. He will go
I'm not coordinated enough to do most Mr. Perfect
against the
things.
Canadian crippler Chris Benoit, and that man, Eddie Guerrero, will face Ultimo Dragon with the control of
But I wish I had a Rivera Steakhouse jacket when I was in 2nd grade.
at Slamboree. Still
It'll look
plenty of time
dope.
to call your cable company or satellite provider. Hang on.
Well, first he had the towel over his head as if in total embarrassment. And, oh, this is just humiliating.
Let's stay with
Enough
it.
of this already.
Let's stay here just for a second and see if Chavo Guerrero Jr. can fire back on Eddie. Oh, Eddie's right in his face, slapping him.
Kiss him.
Come on, Chavo.
Yeah, but he's a man of his word.
Oh, Ultimo Dragon just magically appears. I wish I had that power to like make him like snap and Ultimo Dragon just appears behind me. I saw Ultimo without his mask about a month ago walking out of a restaurant at a convention. Beautiful man. I totally agree with Stephanie McMahon. He is Ultimo hottie.
Well, he's got to. That's part of the stipulation. He's a man of his word.
Oh, the frog splash. Oh, man.
Yeah, you can see he's shaking his head. He wants nothing to do with this.
Tomorrow night, Eddie Guerrero has to wrestle Ultimo Dragon. And, oh, wait a second.
Stop it.
Oh, this has got to stop. This has got to stop between Eddie and Chavo. Fans, we'll see you tomorrow night at Slamboree. Let's go to Mean Gene.
We're actually going to go to me because that's just a recap of like Nitro or something. So with that, we are done for right now. Snooze, can we snooze that ad break? I don't like that. Anyway, we're done. I'm gonna go watch AEW. Thank you all so much for helping me stress test the fixes I made on my OBS software. I will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Hopefully I will catch most of you as we do the official WCW Deep Cut stream of the week. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here. We're watching pay-per-view pre-shows from the mid-90s, live from the arenas. And as a bonus for being so supportive, join me on a random-ass Wednesday evening before AEW Dynamite. I will leave you now with a look at what we'll be watching Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on Off the Grid.
Tits, whips, and buff. You figure it out.
What?